there, sports fans. This is Playitright TV, and I'm Kinito Henson, going solo in this episode, and we've got the NLEX Road Warriors basketball team of the PBA as our guests. First off, the newly designated coach of NLEX, Frankie Lim, is with us in this episode, along with Asi Taulava and Kevin Alas. Let's welcome the three of them here on our show, Playitright TV. Coach Frankie, Asi.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Coach Frankie.
Hello.
Frankie,
Hello.
nice to see you again.
Hi, good evening.
Same here.
Kinito.
Same here, Kinito.
All right.
Been a while, huh?
It has been a while, but we're all looking forward to your first game. It's going to be on October 8th. Frankie Lim will be back on the bench in the PBA. He will be coaching NLEX against Phoenix. And Coach Frankie, my first salvo to you is, what took you so long to come back to the PBA? It's been 7 years since you last coached over at Ginebra.
Yeah. In 2018, I was coaching in Perpetual Health, and I was there right after my Ginebra stint. And in 2020, pumutok yung pandemic. So, tried looking for a job, and all teams were taken. So I just have to wait for a while.
Coach Frankie, you also coached in Indonesia for a bit, and your coaching journey has been star-studded. As a player, you won 6 championships in the PBA, 2 championships in the NCAA. As a coach, you won 4 championships in the NCAA, and you were also an assistant coach at Pure Foods under Eric Altamirano in 1997 when you won a championship as an assistant coach. So with all your credentials, Coach Frankie, it's welcome back to the PBA. How do you feel about that?
Thank you. I'm very excited. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, coach na ako. And, NLEX is a good team. I like the players. When I saw them the first day in practice, the composition of the players, and siguro just matitweak mo ng konti. We can get maybe a couple of players to boost our lineup. So, maging very competitive yung team.
Well, we have to ask Asi Taulava, how does it feel to get Coach Frankie Lim in the NLEX camp? I know that you have a little history with Coach Frankie. Tell us about that history, Asi.
Well, Coach Frankie, I'm so used to calling him boss because when he was at Talking Tex, he was our team manager, so we always referred to him as boss. But he was with Coach Altamirano in 1999. They were the one that got me my rookie year when I left the PBL and joined the PBA. I have some kind of idea what to expect from Coach Frankie, what he expects from the players. So, and it's been fun. And other aspects of the game, I think it's been long overdue that he's finally back in the PBA, with all his credentials and his coaching style. PBA, watch out. It's going to be exciting.
Okay, Asi mentioned something about the coaching style, Frankie Lim, which is very exciting. Kevin, you've been exposed to the coaching style of Coach Yang Giao. Now you're going to be exposed to the coaching style of Coach Frankie Lim. How has it been at practice with Coach Frankie so far? Kevin?
The practices are very, kumbaga parang para sa players kasi Coach Frankie, kumbaga, pinagde-decide niya kami. He wants a fast-paced style of basketball. I think it fits with my style of play kasi syempre, I'm an open court type of player. So, I guess, very excited ako and looking forward kasi, puro takbuhan kami. At the same time, I think we have the materials naman to compete with the teams in the PBA. And as I've said ngayon, parang we're looking forward sa first game ni Coach Frankie sa October 8th.
Asi, let me ask you the question. In the last conference, you had Calvin Oftana. You also had Raul Soyud. Now, both those players have gone on to different teams, but you brought in Brandon Rosser. How is Brandon gelling with the team, and how do you feel about the loss of Calvin Oftana and Soyud?
The loss of Calvin Oftana, that's just part of the PBA business. Players come and go, get traded. There's nothing we can really do about it. We have no control over it. But the thing we can control is the new guy, the next guy that comes in, and that's Brandon Rosser. I think he's going to be a perfect fit for Coach Frankie's system. The running that we do, the attack on offense, and at the same time, he's a great rim protector. Like in challenge shots, you may look at the basket when people are attacking, thinking that it's open, but Brian is there, and he's going to learn a lot from our import Earl, the way how Earl plays. That's why I envision Brandon being like Earl in the future, as long as he keeps growing, continue growing and understanding the game. He's young, full of energy, and I think he's gonna do great.
Well, Brandon's just a rookie, but you were talking about your import, Earl Clark. And Coach Frankie, what have you seen different from Earl Clark from the other imports whom you've coached? And I'm sure napanood mo na yung mga import na naglalaro ngayon sa Commissioner's Cup. How do you size up Earl Clark as against the other imports like Justin Brownlee, like yung import ng Magnolia, si Rakocevic, at saka si Lester Prosper? Coach Frankie.
Ano, si yung laro niya is suave na. He's played a lot of years already in the NBA, overseas, like Turkey pa yan. And he knows when to attack. He knows when to. He's a willing passer naman. And that's one thing nice with him. He doesn't force his shots. And maganda yung disposition niya sa game. And even if we go on a fast pace, he'll make good decisions. So he plays the wing dun sa NBA. So I think yung prepare kong sistema for NLEX is will fit him. Will fit him. Yeah.
Well, Coach Frankie, si Earl Clark played 6 years in the NBA. He's the player with the most experience in the NBA. What have you seen at practice, and what have you seen in this first game for NLEX nung tinalo niyo ang rain or shine? What have you seen unique about him that makes him a special player?
Special kasi he knows how to manage his game. If you remember his first game, in the first 5 minutes, he had 3 fouls right away. He tried to be very aggressive and nagka-trouble ng konti. And, he sat on the bench. Pero pagdating nung he finished the first half with only 5 points. Tapos look at his numbers at the end of the game. He had 26 points, 14 rebounds, right. And 6 blocks. Kasi mahaba din siya. So it shows that he can defend, magandang timing, and pagtapos ng game, natigil na sa 3 fouls yung yung personal fouls niya. So magaling mag-manage yung game niya. And siguro dala rin nung experience niya playing overseas and also the NBA. So maganda, sabi ko nga fino na maglaro.
Coach Frankie, maingay ba si Earl Clark? Madaling dalhin, makwento ba siya? You mentioned to me one time that one of his teammates in the NBA was Kobe Bryant. Has he been relating stories about his NBA experience?
Not with me yet. Small talk muna kami. Hindi kami nagkakwentuhan ng matagal. So, but yun naman nalaman ko lang through kanina kay Borgie ko yata nalaman yun. And sabi nga niya, matagal din siya naglaro sa Lakers. So sabi ko, de klase, di ba? Medyo nagtagal ka sa Lakers.
Yeah. De kalidad. Kevin, Kevin, I want to ask you a question. And this is about your performance in the last conference. 17.5 points. You were the leading scorer of NLEX at 5.4 rebounds, 5.4 assists. Super tremendous numbers that you piled up. But now, in an import conference where Earl Clark is going to be playing, I can imagine he's going to do a lot of the scoring, which he did in your first game na ipanalo ninyo. No? Do you feel that with an import, parang na-release yung load off your shoulders to be so offensive-minded and you can concentrate on other facets of your game? Kev.
Of course, having an import is always an advantage for us kasi yun na nga, for us locals naman syempre para hindi na kami yung number one, number two options pagdating sa offense, and at the same time pagdating sa endgame, of course, mas nagiging fresh kami. And yun na nga, of course, as locals naman, we still have the responsibility of delivering points, assists, rebounds. Kasi yun na nga, we cannot rely solely on the import because yun na nga, as you've seen naman in the yung mga games na, yun na nga, like for example, yung Rainier Shane game kahapon, nag-deliver din yung mga locals ng Rainier Shane against Ginebra. So, it just shows na importante pa rin yung role ng mga local na hindi iaasa lahat sa import.
What about your import na si Earl Clark? Is he kind of like a complementary player? Lahat kayo nagkakasundo. Maganda naman ang chemistry sa buong team?
I think so far maganda naman yung samahan ng team with Earl. Pero I still think na it's still too early to tell. Pero I think yun nga, Earl is 34 years old. He's very mature na. He's an experienced player. So talagang pag nakikita niyo yung team na parang relax, nakikita niyo yung team na kailangan kausapin, talagang nagagalit siya sa amin. Pinagsasabihan niya kami na if we want to win, we have to be like this, something like that.
Well, that's a good tip there on the part of Earl Clark na talagang he's getting his teammates together. And Asi, you're listed in the active roster of NLEX. You're ready to play. You're 49 years old. 2 more years, and you'll have the record as the oldest player ever to play in the PBA because Sonny Jaworski has that record at 51 years old. Asi, how do you keep yourself ready? And when Coach Frankie calls your number, I'm sure that you're going to go out there, you're going to hit those 3-point shots. Asi.
You always got to keep yourself prepared. In a way, this is a good way for the outreach for NLEX because, I'm an ambassador for NLEX with the outreach program. We do all the guestings on the weekend and the weekdays where even sometime with Commissioner Willie Marshall for the PBA. A healthy lifestyle, not just for the youth, but also for people around my age or older. Never give up on your dream, continue chasing it, and always stay fit. A healthy lifestyle, you manage it, especially from how I used to be when I was younger. I didn't take good care of myself. I didn't learn how to do that until I got older. And just being around guys like Kevin, Brandon, Matt Nieto, and Chris, Paul, and Anthony, these guys are super fit guys. They know how to eat properly and take care of their body. And just going in there and hanging out with the young guys in practice, it's a lot of fun. At the same time, it keeps me in shape.
Well, Asi, who do you think is the best conditioned player in the NLEX lineup? Okay, can you name that person with Kevin Alas around?
They all are. Can you These guys, they have such a healthy lifestyle. They share their techniques, how they eat, and even coming to the supplements. I see sometimes they keep secrets from one another because they want the edge. Coming into the games, you can see these guys, they are super fit. That's the great thing about these young guys compared to in my time. Usually we come in out of shape and we're just trying to get back in shape. But being around, these new guys, these young guys, they're so hungry to be prepared for the game and to do battle. And especially in our practice, we're having Coach Frankie now as our coach. He wants it competitive. He wants guys going at each other, attacking them on offense and at defense. And this is a perfect fit for our young guys. They're so in shape and so hungry and ready to prove themselves. We've never been in the finals, and hopefully we get this opportunity the way we're working hard to make it there.
Well, talking about making it to the finals as a goal for NLEX, Coach Frankie, what are your goals in this conference? Let's not talk long term. Let's just talk about this conference. I know it's pretty hard to ask because you're coming back after 7 years, but what are your expectations of this team and what are your goals?
Well, first, syempre hindi nawawala yung target namin is the finals, no? And we always look at that. And last conference was last conference they almost made it in the semifinals. So, little by little, sabi ko nga sa kanila, I see a good team in NLEX, but we still have to add a little more firepower. And I think if we get a couple of guys more, siguro pwede na. Because syempre, if you try to compare our lineup to the big teams, then you can see matalagang iba yung setup nila. So dun din papunta yung yung direction namin.
But Coach Frankie,
To
meron
have
kang nabanggit no, that you want to reinforce your lineup. Is there a trade perhaps that is cooking involving NLEX? Do you have some players in mind? Because I know that the other teams like Converge has been very active in trading for players.
Right now, there's nothing really on the table because we're trying to see our short list, and we'll see if it's possible to bring them in. I can't say their names right now,
Okay.
but
But you have some players in
so
mind.
oh yeah, and we're just trying to come up with that short list and see if it's possible to bring them in.
Okay. But Coach Frankie, you've surrounded yourself with guys whom you've grown up with, whom you've played with, and whom you've worked with. Adonis Tierra, Borgie Armida, and even looking at your players. Oh, by the way, Asi Taulava, of course, nasabi na niya kung ano yung history ninyo, no? You were involved in actually getting him drafted in the PBA. But even among your players, Tony Semerad has played for you in San Beda. How do you find yourself in very comfortable surroundings with a lot of familiar faces? Is it
Yeah.
helping you breaking through?
Oh yes, parang we have a small reunion of my team in San Beda. I have now Borgie Hermida in the coaching staff, and it's a big help. Big help. Sabi ko nga, masipag si Borgie. Masipag. He can do a lot of things. And Anthony was a member of my team in 2010 when we swept the NCAA. And same with Borgie. And incidentally, more than 10 of my players in that team are now playing in the PBA or played in the PBA, and it's nice to see them very successful.
And it's also nice to see that the coach is back in the PBA. Kevin,
dito rin pala kami magkikita-kita.
Oh, dito din. Kevin, you played for Letran and you played many years against San Beda. Alam mo, si Coach Frankie, he's the face of San Beda for many, many years. How does it feel, coming from your background, to be coached by someone like Frankie Lim?
Yun nga, I just remembered 3 years ko nakalaban si Coach Frankie sa NCAA and di ako nanalo dyan kahit isang beses. Talagang, yeah,
Okay.
sweep kami nun. And then, nung nanalo na nga ako sa San Beda, nung nawala na si Coach Frankie eh. And then, also kasama ko rin, Sir Kenito yan, si Coach Frankie 1997, nung magkasama si Coach Eric, si Coach Frankie, si Papa. So, 5 years old pa lang yata ako nun, parang nakakasama ko si Coach Frankie, pati sila Melo. Which Melo kasama ko na nga rin with NLEX now eh.
Okay.
Nakasama ko to si Kevin sa States.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, we won a championship dun sa Pure Foods. Ang premyo namin was a trip to the States.
Okay.
So kasama to si Junjun, Ang liliit pa nila noon.
Sabi nga ni Kevin, 5 years old lang siya ng 1997.
Totoo yun.
Totoo yun. At ngayon, nag-abot na kayo.
Oo.
And Kevin's now playing for you. That's an amazing journey. And Kevin, how excited are you to play for someone like Coach Frankie Lim and being surrounded also by guys like Asi Taulava, Brandon Rosser, and also I needed to ask you, Kevin, no, because yung 5.4 assists mo last conference, marami yun nako-convert ni Calvin Oftana na hindi mo na makakasama ngayon. So again, my first question is, how does it feel, no, being with Coach Frankie after having been with him for all these years since you were 5 years old, and number two, missing Calvin Oftana as the recipient of your passes?
Of course, I'm very, very excited to play under Coach Frankie kasi yun na nga, it's nice to be on the same side with a coach na never ako nanalo nung college ako. So, of course, that's one thing I look forward to. And then, of course, with your question again with Calvin Oftana, siguro, I know those are circumstances na wala naman kaming control. And siguro lang, I'm just thinking na nung nag-semis kami dati, it's without Calvin pa before. So I guess we can do it again. And you know nga, we have a new system and we have a new coach that we're all excited and we're all looking forward to. And yung mga assist ko naman, nandiyan naman si Asi, baka he can make those 2 or 3 na assist na ipapasa ko.
All right.
Sana lang ma-convert.
Si Asi ba sumasama sa mga scrimmages ninyo?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, kung sumasama si Asi sa scrimmages, anong ginagawa nyo? Binibilisan nyo yung laro para hindi siya makaabot? Pag nakaka-score na kayo, ganun ba yun? Kevin?
Maghahabol yan. Oh.
Okay.
Well, in fairness to Asi, I mean, he's really in good shape and talagang he comes in early, he goes home late, talaga nagpapakondisyon para makasabay sa mga bata. So, yun na nga, it's a good testament to how Asi is taking care of his body and of course his nutrition kasi yun na nga, imagine he's 49 years old, nakakasabay pa siya sa amin na mga bata pa eh.
Asi, big challenge for you na makasabay sa mga bata. But you've lost a lot of weight from the last time you were playing to how you are now. You must have lost at least 30 pounds. Is that true?
I'm not sure how much. I don't keep track of it.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, I told you, it's just watching the younger guys like Kevin, Tony, being around these guys, you know, how healthy they eat. And you don't want to be that guy to be sitting around beside them, you know, looking out of shape, looking overweight, and not taking care of your body. You know, these guys inspire me as well. You know, the way they take care of them in their game preparation. Everybody comes in early. You know, we don't have Coach Frankie gives us a call time, but pretty much everybody's trying to beat each other to the gym because everybody wants to be in the weight room or doing shooting. You know, they want the basketball themselves. You know, when you see these guys doing it, you know, even though I've been playing for so long, but, you know, I want to do it too. It's like if these young guys can get up, let me try to motivate them too if I can get in there early and get some extra work in. And it's just not shooting. These guys are always looking. They do everything early. Kevin, I know Kevin, we talk. Kevin is up at 5 a.m. He's got his own personal trainers. He's doing all this stuff to prepare himself, especially after coming back after 2 knee surgeries. And I'm super surprised. I've never seen anybody that went through 2 ACLs and came back, and to see him how good he is, ready he's like, especially last conference in the quarterfinals. You know, when the symptoms hit him, he came back 3 games later, and you can see that fire in his eye that he had something to go off. We weren't worried that much against Clifford's. He came out and he just exploded. Had a fabulous quarterfinal game. You know, it's unlucky for us that we lost that series, but I know Kevin. I know I watched him the whole preseason. He came back with a vengeance.
Well, there's a reason why, Asi, there's a reason why the 3 of you are guests on Playitright TV. It's because all of you are inspiring role models for everyone. Kevin, the way you've come back from surgery, the way you're playing now. I mean, you're playing at a high level. Asi, the way you've kept in tune with how the young guys are running, and you know, you're ready to play when your number is called. And Coach Frankie, also a very inspiring story, coming back after a 7-year wait to the PBA. And Coach Frankie, just a question here about the Bay Area Dragons. Okay ba na naimbita itong guest team sa PBA? Makakatulong ba ang Bay Area? Because the first, nilampaso nila yung Blackwater by 46, but in their second game, kumontik na silang natalo. They needed a miracle shot to beat Northport by 1. Now, is that good for the PBA that we have a guest international or foreign team playing and actually contending for the championship?
I think it's good for the PBA with regards to for the fans to see a new team, new players, hindi lang basta-basta players but ex-NBA players. And para hindi rin para rin on yung PBA teams will be on their toes in preparation for games like this. So I think it's a big challenge for all the teams to face the Bay Dragons. And malakas, hindi sila basta-bastang team. They're a strong team. And
Yeah,
I
they
think
certainly
they're
are.
also coached very well. So looking forward. I'm looking forward to play that team. And let's see kung hanggang saan kami.
Okay, that game, NLEX versus Bay Area, that will be on November 13. So mark that date in your calendars, November 13. And your coach, Frankie, um, with players like Asi Taulava and Kevin Alas, you've seen a lot of players, you've coached a lot of players. Can you share with us who you think was the most fun player you've ever coached? And at the same time, who was the best player whom you've ever coached?
Uh, I think dun sa first question mo, Kinito, I think it's Sudan, Daniel.
Okay.
I recruited him from LA, and nung dumating siya rito nung 08, he came here, then played in 09. And talagang fun guy, kahit gusto mo magalit, parang makukonsensya ka kasi mabait na tao eh. And he's gonna run through a wall for me. Kaya talagang hardworking. And I remember in 09, he didn't play as well as like what he played in 2010. It's a complete turnaround. Kasi parang flop nung dumating dito. Sabi ko, magkamali yata ako. Oo, tapos yung pumapasok sa isip ko yung sending him home. Kasi nga
Mhm.
parang useless, parang mali yung ginawa ko. So I talked to him, sabi ko, we gotta work. Sabi ko, we gotta work hard, make you better. So nakisama naman siya, talagang nagsumikap. 2010, na-sweep namin yung tournament at siya pa naging MVP. Naging MVP si Sudan. In one year lang, complete turnaround from I think a flop. Ngayon, itong 2010, biglang MVP. And ang maganda ron, he only played 22 minutes a game.
Mhm.
22 minutes a game. Off the bench. Hindi ko ini-start yan. Off the bench. 22 minutes. Nag-MVP. Kaya, kung sino magaling,
Mhm.
sa
The
akin
best.
magaling si Sudan. Di ba?
Si Dan.
MVP.
Okay.
Oo. Sinong fun guy? It's Sudan. Pag kasama mo si Sudan off the court,
Mhm.
ay nako. It's fun to be with. Masayang
Para
tao.
naging para naging anak mo din si Sudan, no? And we
Natutulog
grieve.
dito sa bahay yun.
And we
Oh,
grieve because namatay na nga si Sudan. It was
yeah.
very
It's too
unfortunate
sad.
that he passed away, but he did stay in the Philippines after playing for you. What about sa PBA naman, Coach Frankie? Who's the best player you've ever coached?
Ah, yung coaching ko dati sa PBA was one conference na with Ginebra. I think si Mark Kagiwa is a
Kagiwa,
nice
okay.
guy. Oh.
Mhm. One of the
Because
best
same
players
yon,
I've coached.
before he came here, pinuntahan ko yon sa sa bahay nila. Yung
Mhm.
sa lugar nila, sa Eagle Rock.
Mhm.
And I was recruiting him to play for me. And sabi ko, syempre, sinasabi ko yung way of going, yung way niya going to the PBA. Sabi ko, you have to play in college para makita ka nila. So you can join the draft. Sabi ko. And, the two ways. You can play with us or you can play with Ateneo.
Mhm.
Tapos, I'm sure if you play well, makikita ka nila. So in short, hindi nangyari yun. And nag-apply siya directly sa draft. And nalaman ni Ron Jacobs kung sino si Mark Cagiwa.
Mhm.
And I remember dun sa draft, yung Ginebra came first before us. Kasi kukunin ko rin si Mark.
Mhm.
So naunahan kami. So I think pinatanong ni Ron kay Paul Howard.
Mhm.
Ayan, pina-scout niya si Mark. Siyempre, sabi ni Paul, you can't miss out on this guy. So, kinuha ni Ron.
At that time, Coach Frankie, you were with what team?
Mobile line, talk and text.
You were already with Token Dex.
Uh,
But
yeah.
Coach Frankie, you're serving a one-game suspension for an incident many, many years ago. Hindi na natin natandaan kung ano nga ang nangyari. At when I asked you, hindi mo na din natatandaan. Huwag na natin pag-usapan.
Oo, matandain pala sila. Hindi ko
But,
na alam kung ano nangyari nun eh.
But that incident involved Calvin Abueva. Ngayon, you will be facing Magnolia on October 12. When the first thing that will come to your mind when you see Calvin, meron ka bang sasabihin sa kanya? Coach Frankie. Magandang
Sabihin ko sa kanya. Isa lang sabihin ko sa kanya siguro.
Ano yun?
Remember me?
Okay.
I'm back.
Well, Coach Frankie, I also wanted to say, ito yung schedule nyo, no? You play Phoenix October 8, Magnolia October 12, tapos meron kayong TNT October 19, San Miguel Beer October 23, and then you've got Converge November 5, Northport November 9, Bay Area November 13, Terra Firma November 18, Barangay Ginebra November 25. That's a loaded schedule, Coach Frankie.
Back-to-back yung talk and text sa San Miguel. No?
Tama. How are you mentally preparing yourself for this kind of a grind?
Yun naman ang laging challenge sa akin eh, playing big teams. Siyempre, they have coaches who've stayed here in the PBA for forever. And magandang makita yung kung saan ko madadala yung team ko ngayon against these big teams. And I'm looking forward to that. Gusto ko makalaban yung mga big teams. When I say big teams, yung mga talk and text, San Miguel, Ginebra, Magnolia, mga ganyan. Gusto ko makalaro yan.
But at the same time, you also have a challenge because a lot of these other teams are coming on strong. Terra Firma had a good game against Magnolia. You can't count out Northport. The other teams are looking good too. Talagang palaban lahat ng mga teams kan sa PBA.
It's because of the imports. Nagkaroon sila ng additional at least 20 points, 20 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's harder to lahat ng teams talagang umangat kasi with the support of the import.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the games of NLEX with Coach Frankie calling the shots. And before we end our program, we'd like to ask Kevin Alas, Asi Taulava, and Coach Frankie Lim for their final words to the fans. Maybe, Kevin, if you can invite our fans to watch the Road Warriors in their succeeding games. Kevin, the floor is yours.
Okay. First, thank you, Sir Kenito, for having us here sa Playitright TV. And of course, papasalamat kami sa lahat ng fans ng NLEX, ng PBA, and of course, ng Philippine Basketball. Of course, we're inviting you to watch the games live sa MOA, sa Araneta, at sa Ultra. So, hope to see you guys there. Maraming salamat, Sir Kenito.
Thanks, Kevin. Asi?
To the PBA fans, thank you for the support. Please continue to come out and support the PBA, and especially the NLEX Road Warriors. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the games, especially at Field Sport, Unitas Antipolo, Araneta, and at Mo Arena. See you guys there. God bless everyone.
Asi, we're looking forward to seeing you play. That's the one thing that a lot of fans are looking forward to. Asi Taulava back on the floor. Coach Frankie, you called Asi Taulava
Yes.
once your insurance because, we've got a lot of imports. They're big, but, would it be helpful to have Asi Taulava go up against these big imports? Coach Frankie, your final words.
Yes, to the PBA fans, I'm back coaching NLEX. And sana hindi kayo magsawang manood ng basketball at to support the PBA. You guys mean a lot for the PBA. And I want to see you around and see you guys in MOA, in Araneta Coliseum, in Field Sports, even in Antipolo. So I'll see you soon. My first coaching day would be on October 8th against Phoenix. But before that, I think we're gonna play Blackwater. So watch and cheer for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach Frankie, Kevin, and Asi. Thanks for your time, and we're looking forward to NLEX back on the court, playing your hearts out in the PBA. Maraming salamat to the Road Warriors management. Thank you, Sir Ronald Duterte. Dularte. Sorry. That was a joke, by the way, Asi. And Coach Frankie, Asi, and Kevin, thanks very much again for all your support.
Yeah.
And for
Thank
being
you for
with us.
inviting me, for inviting us here,
All
Mr.
right.
Q.
Sir.
Thanks
Always
very
good
much.
to have
See you at the games. See you at the games.
See
God
you.
bless.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach
you.
Frankie.
God
Thanks,
bless.
Asi. Thanks, Kev. Well, there you have it, folks. An interesting episode with the NLEX Road Warriors. We wanted to give you a taste of the young and the not so young. So we had Kevin Alas and Asi Taulava with us. And of course, welcoming back Coach Frankie Lim. It's been 7 years since he last coached in the PBA. And now he's back. As he said, wow, he's excited to be back. First thing he's going to tell Calvin Abueva when they face off against Magnolia, remember me? Wow, that's loaded. So we're all excited for NLEX. We're all excited for the Road Warriors and this team. And for Coach Frankie Lim, welcome back and best of luck to you. And again, to all of our Playitright viewers and followers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget, we've got lots of surprise packages and discounts for you if you access playitright.com for all your needs, sports accessories, sports equipment, sports apparel, and sports footwear. Go to playitright.com. And with that, we want to thank you again for watching. Thank you for joining us in this episode regarding NLEX Road Warriors. Thanks very much. This is Kirito Henson for Playitright TV.